After I need y'all to go, a bunch of the kids want to take a picture with you. You number one, right?
Yeah, man, you know I'm number one.
I don't know what number you wear. Man, that was a tough one. Give them a lot of credit. You know, they've been on the road. They're up north. It's freezing cold. And those kids came in here with a plan. Buck is a great coach. I didn't realize he's been there longer than I've been here. But me and him have definitely hit it off with each other at the meetings. I gave them our shoot-around time today just to be a good host. Probably won't do that for them next year, but because they almost whooped us. And we gave them some time on our main floor because with the schedules getting changed with the girls' game and different things, their time was going to be in the other gym. And we get upset when other teams do that to us no matter what. I don't care if you got a girls' game, whatever, you get to give a team a bad time to shoot in your gym. That's the old coach's tricks. And so I was not going to do that to them because I have too much respect for him as a coach. Today, their kids really, really were bought into what they were trying to get done. But sometimes you don't play your best and you win. And sometimes you play your best or you play really well like we did the other night, but we fouled too much, so we didn't win. We didn't have our best game today, but we did enough to win. And that's a credit to these kids, and that's a credit to them keeping their heads in the right place and their talent. So I'm just happy that we didn't have to sit up here with the sour faces because we didn't finish. You know, it's a home game. We're supposed to win at home. So thank you to all the fans that came out, and we're just excited to get that one done. To the family of the young lady that passed last week, I apologize that I wasn't able to make it to the wake because I'm just praying for your family. We knew your daughter. Anytime we went in there, she was incredible to all of us. So I can't even imagine your pain, but I want you to know the Monmouth basketball and the Monmouth family is with your family. And then, you know, Steve, you do our games all the time, and before the game, I went up to you because I hadn't seen your articles, okay? And I respect how you work, but I noticed the last game you reported on was Wilmington, so I walked up and said, hey, man, I hope everything's cool, and you gave me some information, and I just want you to know the Monmouth basketball family, King Rice and his family, Summer, Alexander, and Julian, are praying with you and your family in your hard times, okay? And with that being said, please talk to these two. Xander's foot is hurting. I wasn't sure he was playing. He kept staying away from me today, but I was peeking around corners and saw him limping. And then I would relay to Ricky, if he's limping, Ricky. And then I would talk to Bree, and she'd say he's fine. And then I'd look at him, and he'd look away. So I was worried about him. The dad in me was worried. The coach in me was like, the dad was like, I can't play him. The coach in me was like, he's going to have his foot fall off before he don't play. So I hope we didn't injure it more. And thank you for Abdi. Really got on him after our last game. I really, really probably the hardest I've been on him about a few things. And he hung his head for a little while, but we've had a couple days in between. He got his head in the right place. I sat him over there for a long time today. He kept his head cool, and then he came in and did what maybe only he can do. Xander can do it a lot, but them sitting there all game and coming in and being on fire is incredible. So I'm thankful to both of these kids, these young men.
Can you talk about the importance of your young guys like Abdi, Boog, all those guys, Jarrett, down the stretch, kind of their improvement and how much that means to where this team can end up this year?
See, I totally think they're so key to what we do because they're only in, I don't even know, we're 10-9 now, so they're 19 games in. Okay, Abdi played last year in high school, Boog in high school. Jarrett didn't play last year at all, and he didn't play much the year before. So these guys are early in their careers, and they're in major college games with 22 and 23-year-old guys. So they're in development is very important to what we're going to be able to do. Xander's a fifth-year guy. We're kind of getting used. How he gets down is he's a senior, super senior. Kari's older. Jack Collins older than me, even though he's only a sophomore. But he's played so many minutes. Nikita's a graduate. So we got a nice combination. But the sooner these guys aren't freshmen anymore, we're just going to keep getting better. And the sky's the limit through their careers, not just right now. I get mad at Abdi because I tell people I think he can make the pros. And then he does some things on defense that then I say, hey, they're going to think I'm crazy. And then I get on him, but I think him and Jarrett have the potential to play at the highest level. So we got to help them continue to grow as young men and as players so they can reach that.
Abdi, how much more comfortable do you feel right now than you did, say, a month and a half ago?
I mean,
tell the truth.
Nah, I didn't for real. Like conference play, non-conference play, like nobody knew me, nobody knew what I could do. In the first couple of games, like they seen what I could do a little bit, but it's just non-conference games. Like you're going in there and you're just trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Conference games, like everybody knows what everybody does. They're not letting me catch the ball. They're not even letting me get a shot off. So I had to find other ways to get my shot off. And Coach Rice, he helped me through that. Micah, he helped me through that. Even Zen, he just told me we had long talks in the hotel rooms, and he just told me to keep my head in the game, because I get down on myself a lot because I hold myself to a high standard, and when I don't reach that, I feel like I'm failing my people and myself. So sometimes I get down on myself, and against Drexel, I cost us the game with I didn't get the ball sometimes, and Coach Rice, he had a lot to say. When I came out the game, he had a lot to say in the locker room, and I was just out there hey, I ain't trying to hear that again, you know what I'm saying? So I was just, but nah, I appreciate them. I appreciate Zen. I appreciate Coach Micah. They're on me hard because they know my potential. They know what I can be. So, I appreciate them for that, and everything's getting a little easier. You know what I'm saying?
He even apologized to my wife for when I got home. He said, hey, Mrs. Rice, I'm sorry if Coach Rice going to be cussing tonight. And I'm going to clean that up for him. He did not cost us the game. And that is not something I said to him, that part. No one play, no 2 or 3 plays cost you games. But Xander does that too. He was blaming himself. He's blaming himself. Losses are all on me. All right? I didn't get us the right shots down the stretch, and we lost. It's never on you. I don't care if you turned it over the last 3 possessions. It's not on you. I like that they think this way, though, because they're going to be out there trying to get the right things done.
Xander, this seemed to be a game where there was a lot of chirping out there on the court. Is it hard not to get drawn into that, or do guys try that just to get you off your game? Is that?
Based off last year, we knew that's just how they were, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the game. Sometimes it might cross a line here and there, but like I said, it's just part of the game. I know me and I think Zero Wilcox just we talked and just said we don't have anything against each other. We're just talking. It's so you can't get too high and too low with it. You can't let it get you out your game. But some guys just play like that, so you got to respect it, but you have to be able to talk back sometimes and have thick skin.
Just what do you see from the young guys and their development and the kind of potential this team has as they kind of grow?
Yeah, with the young guys, I care about them so much. Sometimes I have to even check myself, all right, you got to worry about yourself a little bit, because you have to help the team too. But that's just how I am because I see them in the gym every single day. I've seen them put the work in all summer, and they're some of my closest friends. So I want that success for them sometimes more than I want that success for myself just because I see where they can take it with their talent. They're way more talented than I was when I was a freshman, you know what I mean? So, just as a friend, you want to see them play their best. I'm sure on video when they were making all the shots tonight, you can just see me in the background like a proud big brother just smiling because I was so happy for them. And, they're going to just keep figuring it out. And as they continue to get better, the sky's the limit for this team. So,
King, this was a big day for you with your foundation. That's important to you, isn't it?
I'll tell you, it's I got my family. I have an incredible relationship with Monmouth University. But this one, You know, I started the foundation because in my hometown, when I grew up, we were a very poor family financially. We had all the love and all that stuff, but financially we were poor. And my dad always found a way to have food for all of us and for the community. And I never understood how a person that was on welfare could feed a whole community. But that's who my dad was, and through the church, that's where you get to King David. I didn't understand all these things, but the people respected my father so much they would give us food at the grocery stores, and then he would pay them back on the 1st and the 15th when you would get your welfare check. And then that would feed the whole community a lot of times. And, you know, when my dad passed, it was a big loss for me because I was still a younger man trying to do things. Xander was just born, and I always wanted my dad to have a relationship with my sons. But he passed, and until after he passed, I go back to Binghamton all the time, and I've just watched my town just get worse and worse and worse in the part of town where I grew up. Drugs, a lot of different things happened. A lot of the men went to jail, late 80s, early 90s, and we haven't really recovered. And I got some really good friends there that never left. I moved my sister and my mother back there, and we just started with the Astor Rice Foundation. First, we had a community cleanup where first time I just went around the neighborhood and picked up all the trash myself. And people were like, "What are you doing? Who are you? What's the deal?" Because I haven't lived there in a long time. So I had some friends with me, so everybody would allow me to do that. Then I started a relationship with the mayor in the city and just told them what I wanted to do, but I needed help. And they were excited that I wanted to do this. And now we've started a year ago. It took us about 6 months to get started, but we're a 501c3 foundation. And our first thing was the community cleanup. Then we started a FACE program, and we had 6 families. Okay, we do financial literacy, we do mental health, and my main thing was hope. I think a lot of people in our town have lost hope because maybe they got in trouble when they were younger and they haven't figured out a way that they can get back on the grid. There's just a lot of things, and if you help kids, but you don't reach out to the parents and help the parents, if they're willing to join you, the kids are still going to be in the same thing. And then you help them in school or at the community center, and then they go home, and if home is a different environment, it makes it hard on the kid. And everybody across the country knows that. And it seems like a lot of people want to help. So we started this program. The 6 families have been with us for 8 weeks. They just graduated. And now we're working through the school system to do another, I think it's 8 or 10 week program through the end of the school year. And like I said, hope is the first thing I want to bring. You know, but we're going to grow this from the ground up and just give back to the community. Be that person in the community that my father was. I want to empower the men of that town that might have had some things happen when they were younger men and have lost some hope that they can have a great deal for their kids. And I always explain to everybody that comes around the Astor Rice Foundation, my father didn't have me till he was 47 years old. And then he had my sister at 49. And before that, he was known as a street guy. He was hustling, he was a bouncer, he was in the bars, he was out doing the wrong things most of the time. He met my mother, had me, took her 3 boys in and raised us all right in the middle of the hood. And very interesting growing up right in the middle of the hood with a biracial family, with a white mom and 3 white brothers. And everybody had things to do and say to us. And through the church, through the love in our home, I'm here to this day being able to give back to the community that helped raise me. And we didn't have anything. We didn't have a car. We didn't have ways to get places. Me and my dad would walk, and then people would pick us up on the walk to go to Little League, Pee Wee, CYO, high school games. You know, me and my pops would be walking to the game, and someone would give us a ride. Then he would come to my practices, and if I didn't outplay everybody, and that was on offense and defense, if somebody scored on me, you see how cold it is outside, me and my dad would walk home from the games when I was a high school All-American, okay? So that's who he was. He was going to get his son in a better situation, and he hit a grand slam with how he raised me. And now I get to do all these cool things, and I'm going to hand it off to this guy someday, and he's going to run with it. And the Rices won't have to just be the workers forever after he gets a hold of it with his little brother. But I'm proud of this because it's in my heart to help these kids and these families so they can have this dream like I did and get a better life for their families. And through Monmouth and the people here, now I really have that. And I'm I'm 55 now, I can look back and say, okay, bro, now it's time for you to stop trying to get things better for you and make them better for everybody else. That's why they're here today.
Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, will you go up there? Because the kids was asking for you, and you know Peggy Rice going crazy for you.